Hi, if you're new to this channel, I was visited by beings of light 9 years ago in my home. And since that time, my consciousness has been unfolding slowly, but it's here. And my initial feelings are as grave as the beings of light were when they came to visit. They were not happy. They were not full of joy. They were downloading me with reality because I, like the rest of the world, have been living in AI, an artificial world that doesn't belong to us, but we're living it as if we do belong. And I just want to, separate you, if I will, or can, from whoever you think you are, because I assure you, you are far greater, wiser, and important than you know. And when we listen to ourselves over all others, we have a better chance of survival. Now, what I'm talking about is I was told the simulation is over. And that means anything artificial, fake, not of us, is going to disappear. People will have what they think are glitches in the matrix. They call it a matrix. Well, it's really a gridlock where you have been building a prison for yourself. Walls all around you. And it's difficult for your family to reach you. It is. And it's difficult for you to reach your family. It's like your world's apart in many cases. Like in my case, it's just beyond painful to know how badly wired my family got, not just, through schools and Hollywood programming the brain, but by the gaslighting people do of reality. They lie, they cheat, and steal to get ahead. And if that means sacrificing people along the way to get ahead, they will do it. If somebody is focused on money or sex or whatever, they're going to do whatever. They're corrupted. So they're going to, gaslight reality around you. And these creatures feed off of your love. The more love you can give people you don't know, the worse off you are. Because love bombing people that you don't know is as bad as hate bombing people you don't know. At the end of the day, you don't know who you are love bombing. And it could be a real monster. So I want to bring Kindergarten to the attention of the people while we have time, so that you can, or anybody within earshot of me, repair their hearts, their souls, and their relationships before the simulation is over. So we're going to be covering self-awareness and esteem. That's going to be the focus. Self-awareness, self-esteem. We're going to be talking about setting and manifesting focus. And I'll show you how you can manifest anything you want out of nothing when you know how. Assertiveness training. Some people find it hard to deal with aggression or passive aggression. Well, maybe you're the passive aggressive one. Maybe you're the aggressor and you want to learn how to be assertive so that you can repair your relationship with yourself and others. Communication skills. That's a real big important one, because people think communicating is just talking louder so that you get heard. But no, there is an art to communicating. I'm going to also talk about how to create boundaries with people, that you are entitled to boundaries and people have to respect your space, right? And your really important history, your timeline history in your childhood. Your childhood is going to tell you everything you need to know about why you came to Earth this time, what you're doing here this time, this life. At the end of the simulation, we're at the end of a 500-year simulation. It's going to be gone. All you're going to have left is love, because only love is real. So, keeping that in mind, we need to remove the judgments that were made against us as children. Like, I don't know about you, but I was harshly judged. Harshly. At home, at school. It was like I was public enemy number one. And I didn't know why until now. Now I understand. People do not like their differences pointed out. They feel they're being judged. But I don't judge anybody. I do point things out. And if people want to jump into that category, you can go right ahead. But I'm only pointing out something. If you feel the shame or guilt or something, that's on you. You know, anytime you're feeling shame, it's a feeling you got to get rid of. I don't want anyone ashamed. I don't want anyone afraid. So, in the kinder garden that I am creating, I honestly feel, though, it's too late, because the end of the simulation is closer than people realize. And right now, it's already they don't recognize a lot. They're seeing things with new eyes, and they're opening in a lot of people. And I need for nothing from anyone. All I need to do is live. Because when I cross back over from this realm, I want to make sure that I lived my life how I wanted to live it. And you know what? When I did my timeline review, where I actually sat down with paper and pencil and pen and wrote out things that I did that I'm very happy about, well, there is no better feeling than the feeling of knowing you got done what you wanted to get done. And I have a feeling, you know, the childhood games that we play, right away I was a businesswoman collecting dimes for my brother's boxing matches. I was an actress, and I knew I belonged to Hollywood in a way. And now I learn I am related in a big way to Hollywood through my past lives and this life too. Tanya Tucker, for example, sang Delta Dawn. Now, I'm directly related to Tanya Tucker. It's in my book, my genealogy book. And so many other actors, and it's a bloodline. And I'm in it, but I'm out of it. I'm living in the suburbs as an alien, pointing out what we need to do before the end of the simulation if we want peace in our heart. And that is repairing the relationship we have with ourselves and being self-aware of how we come across to other people, and how when we judge other people, they feel it. They feel like, oh no. And if they're judged by a lot of people, they may take on that persona. They may become what you judged them to be. In fact, that's the common thing that happens, is the manifester, you, can manifest the person you are judging when they weren't that person at all before you came along and pointed them out with a judgment, with a bad, they're all good or all bad, right? And you don't look beyond that. Well, nobody's all good and nobody's all bad. And that's the honest truth in kindergarten. And everybody has a talent that they are bringing to the table. And in my childhood, I also loved to play dress up, Barbies, paper dolls. I want to buy a toy this Christmas, like for myself. And I encourage things like that to help trigger memories that please you and remind you of why you came to Earth this time, for the end of the simulation is near, and you are here for a reason. Many of my subscribers already know that they're here for a reason, and they have been wanting, a reconnection with the universe, the stars, the moon, the sun, and everything in between. And to divide us into races or genders or languages or age or whatever, to hate a group of people is going to really suck the life out of you when you cross over and see. So I'm trying to help people create good memories of this life, because as this simulation goes, another one is being created, and it will be completely different than what we experience here. And we want to play. We are eternal spirits here to play with our senses, our human senses. Taste, touch, smell. My sense of smell and taste are gone. My hearing's leaving, my eyesight, like things look distorted and feels finished, like, oh my God, can we get on with this? And I'm hoping that people that are afraid to approach the people they love will feel the confidence and self-esteem to go ahead and make the first move. It's not easy, but any relationship that you're thinking about a lot, I assure you, the other person is also thinking a lot about you because we're telepathic like that. And we communicate like that. But through languages and words and the reprogramming of our brain into thinking that we are who we are judged to be is a big mistake. So if you like the subjects that I'm going to be helping people along with, go ahead and hit the notifications because I'll be hitting on them as long as I can. I'm here for this reason, to expose the truth. And the bottom line of the truth is this simulation is over, and it is critical for emotional peace, I guess, in the heart, that everyone is okay with who they became, how they treat children, women, and vulnerable populations. Or do they create the vulnerable populations by hating them and making them vulnerable? We have to figure out who we are. And that's what Kindergarten is all about until the simulation is over. And it's over sooner than you think. I have 113 in my mind, and it won't go away. I don't know what it means. 113 won't go away. Sometimes, it comes in, well, last Halloween, 2024, my clock, a battery operated, not digital, like analog clock, stopped at 10:31 on 10/31 of 2024. And if you take out the zero, because as you know, if you've been, people that subscribe know that our number system goes from 1 to 9. There are no zeros. So if you look at the way the analog clock stopped last October at 10:31, it didn't matter if I changed the battery. The clock wasn't coming back. It was over. Time is over. And time is a big illusion too, because we have eternity. But now, in our eternity, in our eternal lives, we move on and we go up or down the ladder. And I would love it as many people as possible come up the ladder and not go down into oblivion, into hell, where artificial intelligence is smarter than Christ.